You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth Week in Review, the show that reveals facts, truth, research, and statistics and never messes around. We lay down the entire truth about everything regarding your Detroit and Michigan sports teams, no matter if it's good or bad. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no coddling, no pop culture, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website at MichiganSportsTruth.com and like our Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth. The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
Episode 297 is in session. Taylor Phillips flying solo. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Got lots to recap, but I'll take it from here. Buck Gino is often sick. He'll be back next week, Sunday at 10 p.m. with me, of course. But let's get down to it.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
The Lions crushed the Green Bay Packers 35-11 at Ford Field. First time they've swept the Packers in the regular season since 1991. Doesn't change the fact that they finished 9-7 and missed the playoffs. It's not good enough. That means they can't win a playoff game again, which means they've won only one playoff game in 61 years, since 1957. Their only playoff win in that span was in 1991, when they were that good, when Wayne Fontes was their head coach. Barry Sanders was their top running back. Scott Mitchell, I don't think Scott Mitchell was the quarterback at that time. But anyway, that's when the Lions, the day after, fired Jim Caldwell. And it was inevitable, too, because before Sunday's game, it was expected that the Lions and Caldwell would part ways. It's no shock to me. It's no shock to anyone. And it shouldn't be. So, where does that leave the Lions, though? Well, there's plenty of options out there. It's not that hard to figure out. They got New England Patriots defensive coordinator Matt Patricia, which is their best nominee. Houston Texans defensive coordinator Mike Vrabel, Carolina Panthers defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur, Lions defensive coordinator Terrell Austin, offensive coordinator Bob Cooter, and Green Bay Packers linebackers coach Winston Moss. Matt Stafford wants Bob Cooter back and as head coach. Don't know about that one.
You stupid.
Now, you want a smarter head coach. Doesn't matter if it's experience or not. Matt Patricia, it appears, to be the smartest head coach nominee. And we understand Bob Quinn, too. He's a Patriot type of guy, a New England Patriot type of guy. He was an assistant general manager to the New England Patriots, I believe, or the last general manager, before he came to Detroit. But Bob Quinn, I heard right after the Lions fired Caldwell, Bob Quinn praised Lions tight end Eric Ebron, who remains in the Lions' plans for 2018.
Are you out of your mind?
Now, Eric Ebron is not guaranteed, but to praise Eric Ebron for his performance the entire year is strange because, and stupid as well, and crazy.
You're crazy! You're crazy! You're crazy! Are you crazy?
Because Eric Ebron had dropped so many passes like he usually does this past season. So what are the Lions going to do with him? Sign him to a one-year contract? Or an extension? That's going to get the Lions nowhere in that department. The Lions need a better tight end than Eric Ebron, period. Eric Ebron has to stop dropping the damn ball. Otherwise, the Lions are going to have to part ways with Eric Ebron. Pretty cut and dry. So, that's pro football. Now we delve into college football. But before we delve into the bowl game recaps, I like to pass around this just-in note here. Iowa Hawkeyes backup quarterback Tyler Wiegers, Wiegers, Tyler Wiegers is now headed to Eastern Michigan to join the Eagles as a graduate transfer. That being said,
Touchdown, MSU!
The Spartans of Michigan State avoided a comeback by the Washington State Cougars, and they blew them out 42-17 in the Holiday Bowl. That was back on December 28th of last year, 2017. Brian Lewerke got hurt, but he came back into the game, gave L.J. Scott the ball, gave some amazing runs up the middle, and he finished it off with a touchdown to put the nail in the coffin. It was 35-17 prior to that when Washington State made a comeback. Now to the other college football bowl game.
Touchdown, Michigan!
The Wolverines blew a 19-3 lead with 5 turnovers in the second half, mostly because of bad play calling by their head coach Jim Harbaugh and the rest of their coaching staff, and they lost 26-19 to the South Carolina Gamecocks. That was a piss-poor second half performance by the Wolverines, not to mention piss-poor play calling. And the Wolverines settled for only 16 points in the first half. Not good enough. Their defense was doing it all in the first half, only holding the Gamecocks to a field goal in that first half. But it should have been a blowout. It should have been a major blowout the entire game. Jim Harbaugh and his coaching staff should have made better play calls to ice it permanently. But instead,
You blew it!
they finished their season at 8-5. What a tragedy. Now, transitioning to college basketball.
For 3, yes, sir!
The Wolverines men's basketball team, led by head coach John Beilein, played the Iowa Hawkeyes at Carver Hawkeye Arena, led by as many as 71-54 midway through the second half. The Hawkeyes came back, but it was too little too late. Wolverines took care of the Hawkeyes 75-68 in what was almost a blowout. The game was a no contest. They started out iffy with turnovers, but their rebounding was good. They hung in there. They broke it wide open throughout most of the game. They're home against the Illinois Fighting Illini Saturday at noon on BTN. To the Spartans now, led by head coach Tom Izzo.
Valentine for the win!
They are in the number 1 AP poll rankings now.
I love it!
They're home against the Maryland Terrapins Thursday at 8 on FS1. That's tomorrow. Maryland Terrapins beat the Penn State Nittany Lions by not very many. Of course, the Spartans, number 1, will take good care of the Maryland Terrapins, who are still a good team, but just not quite a match for them. The Spartans, after that, go to Columbus and play the Ohio State Buckeyes at Value City Arena, without Thad Matta, whom they let go. That tips off Sunday at 4:30 on CBS Sports Network. Or CBS. Check your local listings or cable or satellite listings. The Central Michigan Chippewas took really good care of the Ohio Bobcats, 75-50 at McGurk Arena. But they had to bench Josh Kaczynski. Like I mentioned on Talk Shoe, Josh Kaczynski, over 25 minutes, 0 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. That guy should be, in fact, a reserve player, or at least a bench player. With him performing like that, just is not very much. Man.
You are pathetic!
If I'm head coach Keno Davis right now, I have to bench Josh Kaczynski. Because he doesn't do much. Chips are at the Golden State Flashes. Chips are at the Kent State Golden Flashes Saturday at 7. The Western Michigan Broncos beat the Akron Zips 87-75. They are at the Miami, Ohio Redhawks Saturday at 3:30. And the Eastern Michigan Eagles lost to the Ball State Cardinals 72-62. They're home against Bowling Green, the Falcons, Saturday at noon. Eastern's not that good of a team, I tell you. Transitioning to pro basketball.
Left sideline, 3 and he answers.
Since Reggie Jackson sprained his right ankle and is out 6 to 8 weeks,
You blew it!
the Pistons lost to the Orlando Magic 102-89, but they beat the San Antonio Spurs 93-79 at Little Caesars Arena. One of the players that stood out to me that stepped up for Reggie Jackson is Ish Smith. He was putting up a lot of points, racking up a few assists per game. Let's hope he keeps that up. Reggie Jackson has now been injured long-term for 2 seasons in a row. And that's something that the Pistons cannot afford to have. They tip off at the Miami Heat tonight at 7:30. That's Wednesday at American Airlines Arena in South Beach. Then on Friday at 7, they're at the Philadelphia 76ers at Wells Fargo Center. They return home Saturday at 7 against the Houston Rockets at LCA. Then on Monday, they go to New Orleans, Louisiana, and play the Pelicans at 8 o'clock. Andre Drummond has played well. Boban Marjanovic, a bit rusty. I still think Boban Marjanovic is a heck of a backup. So, that's Pistons. Now, one team left to cover. The Red Wings are now fourth worst in the Eastern Conference in the wild card standings as I pull up the standings here on NHL.com. They lost 3-1 at the New Jersey Devils at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. They upset the New York Rangers 3-2 in a shootout last Friday. And then on last Sunday night, on New Year's Eve, they dominated the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-1 in a game where Gustav Nyquist scored 2 goals, second one which was his 100th career goal. Props to him. The Red Wings right now stand at 37 points at 15, 16, and 7, still fourth worst in the East. The Senators, their next opponent Wednesday, that's tonight at 7:30 at Little Caesars Arena, stand at 32 points, 12, 17, and 8, second worst in the Eastern Conference. The Florida Panthers, Friday at 7:30, 2 points ahead of the Wings, 17, 17, and 5. They're home against the Tampa Bay Lightning at 7 on Sunday. The Lightning lead the Atlantic Division. Here's an easily losable game. The Bolts are 29, 8, and 2 with 60 points. Then they have 5 days of rest. Then they visit the Pittsburgh Penguins Saturday at 1. Next Saturday at 1 on the 13th. And then on the Sunday the 14th at 7, they are at the Chicago Blackhawks, who as of right now are in 5th place in the Western Conference wildcard standings at 18, 14, and 6 with 42 points. A tie in points with the Calgary Flames for 5th worst. But the Calgary Flames have a record of 19, 16, and 4, so they're 4th worst in the West. So that brings me to our 5-question segment.
It's time for 5 questions on the Michigan Sports Truth.
Question number 1. Should the Lions promote offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter to head coach? No. Like I said before, Matt Patricia is the best nominee to be your next head coach. If you're the Detroit Lions, Jim Bob Cooter, as of late, has not been very good in play calling. Except they put up plenty of offense against bad teams like Green Bay, Cincinnati. Oh, wait, they put up only 17 points there. They put up 38 at home against the winless Cleveland Browns, who finished their season at 0-16. But they haven't put up much offense at all this season.
Next question.
Question number 2. What does the future hold for Lions tight end Eric Ebron? Well, they're probably going to sign him to a 1-year contract and hang on to him at least for that long. And he's going to keep dropping more passes, which is going to get the Lions nowhere, like I said before.
Next question.
Question number 3. How far will the Michigan State Spartans football team go in 2018? Well, Brian Lewerke is still going to be their quarterback. Mark D'Antonio prepares his team very well, like he did this past season. They beat Michigan. Of course, they got smashed by Ohio State on the road in Columbus, 48-3, by Urban Meyer's squad, the Buckeyes. But the Buckeyes were just a better team. The Spartans just had a bad game. It was a total mismatch. But I think the Spartans will get even better finish with at least a 10-2 record in the regular season, maybe 11-1, probably make the BCS bowl games. They're going to be closer to the college football playoff, but they're not quite going to get there yet. They still have a ways to go.
Next question.
Question number 4. Is it put up or shut up time for Michigan Wolverines football head coach Jim Harbaugh? I believe it is. Because Jim Harbaugh, his squad blew a 19-3 lead and lost 26-19 to the South Carolina Gamecocks in the Outback Bowl. They lost to Michigan State at home. They lost to Ohio State at home. Harbaugh, since coming to Michigan, has been 1-5 career-wise as head coach of the Michigan Wolverines against opponents like Michigan State and Ohio State. That's not good enough. Plus, they got smashed by the Penn State Nittany Lions in their past season. They have to do a lot better than that. Otherwise, some changes have to be made.
Next question.
And finally, question number 5. How long can the Spartans men's basketball team hold on to the number... How long can the Spartans men's basketball team hold on to the number 1 ranking in the AP poll? Well, it's simple. It depends on who they play and how they play as the conference season rolls along. They're going to have to face teams like Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Michigan. And I believe Tom Izzo and his squad, such as Miles Bridges, Josh Langford, Kenny Goins, etc., are up to the task. Of course they'll make it to the big dance. We'll see how far they go. Only time will tell. So that wraps up our 5 questions segment. And to our entire audience, if you want to answer those 5 questions, just replay that segment portion of this episode and answer them the best you can without going out of line. Now for the other segment.
Pencils down, everyone. It's time to find out what's your grade.
Only one event to grade this week, the Lions firing head coach Jim Caldwell. I'd give that a mid-range A. In fact, I'm going to give it an A+, because, it had to be done, period. Caldwell's extension was only through 2018, which is this year. And Caldwell finished 36-28 in his 4-year tenure as Lions head coach. And it's not good enough. 0 playoff wins, 2 trips to the playoffs, both of them only as wild card seeds. And they have never won the NFC North. The NFC Nuke North, that is. And it's time for the Lions to make some changes. And I suggest that they hire Matt Patricia, the Patriots defensive coordinator, as the Lions' next head coach. So, that's our What's Your Grade segment. So for our audience, if they have a grade for each event, post that in the comment bank in this episode, and please don't go out of line. Before I sign off, I want to remind everyone to share this podcast, this episode, for example, on social media, and have their friends share that as well, because I want to tell them that the Michigan Sports Truth podcast is searching for a wider local audience that's fans of sports. So please spread the word about the Michigan Sports Truth podcast and its Facebook page. I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips, and like and share the Michigan Sports Truth Facebook page. We'll talk to you next week on episode 298. On behalf of Buck Gino, follow him on Twitter at BuckGino the Third. Thanks very much for listening, downloading, and sharing. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Bon appétit.
The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
Transmission complete.